everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Red Hat Chat. I'm Christy, the flaky brunette, and this is my partner in crime and husband,
Will the Brain.
In tonight's episode, we talk about the crazy lefties. I don't know about y'all, but it seems to me that this week, the lefties, or at least the ladies on the left, have been extra nutty. Mm-hmm. And so I just thought that we'd get some tweets together and talk about it because it's worth talking about. Because the left constantly is trying to censor conservatives, and I think, hey, let's see what's going on with it.
Yeah, so we actually have a clip from Michelle Wolf and her comedy sketches. We're just going to play back a couple clips, and then we're going to talk about it.
Sounds good. Let's take a look at this.
Trump is racist, though. He loves white nationalists, which is a weird term for a Nazi. He thinks abortion is murder, which, first of all, don't knock it till you try it. And when you do try it, really knock it. You know, you gotta get that baby out of there. Every time Sarah steps up to the podium, I get excited because I'm not really sure what we're gonna get. You know, a press briefing, a bunch of lies, or divided into softball team. I actually really like Sarah. I think she's very resourceful. Like, she burns facts, and then she uses that ash to create a perfect smoky eye. Like, maybe she's born with it, maybe it's lies.
So first off, she calls Trump racist. She
calls him sexist, calls him misogynist, all the tired plays of the left. Can we just say that, you know, at this White House Correspondents' Dinner, she was completely tacky, and she completely crossed the line, I think.
Their jokes weren't funny. They were, I mean, half the time the audience was just looking at her like, yeah, and that voice is cringy. It's just, yeah.
It's totally cringy, and I mean, I understand, you know, freedom of speech, of course, and yes, the right, we can take the jokes, but, you know, you have to do things in a classy way, and she did it in a completely tacky way.
Mm-hmm. And Roseanne Barr had a tweet that said it best. She basically said, as a comedian, you're not supposed to roast someone that is more famous than you when they're in the same room, basically. And Sarah Huckabee Sanders was in the room, and she's just completely tearing into her. And,
you know, attacking her looks, attacking her job. And, I mean, it was just really, really tasteless. And I want to know, why aren't the feminists completely mad about that? Why aren't they speaking up? I've heard some Democrats speak up about it, so I will totally give credit to that. But, I mean, where is the feminist outrage? If this had been done to a lefty, oh my gosh, Twitter would have, like, broken. And I find it, you know, a huge hypocrisy, you know, but that's the typical play from the left. Although I guess we couldn't be, you know, too surprised by it, because she did, after Trump won the election, she did say Trump is the worst thing to happen to women since yeast. An experienced politician against a racist fake gynecologist. And it's just stupid. It's just, this is the kind of woman that they brought in, and it was tasteless. And people like Dave Chappelle, Tina Fey, they're all supporting her. Even Amy Schumer.
Yeah, she's just horrible.
She had sent out, I guess she was there, and she posted on Instagram, Michelle Wolf is murdering at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
No, she wasn't. She really did. I mean, everything she said, she had the little cringy voice, and then the people were just like, are we supposed to laugh yet? And you know, you had like scattered laughter. She was bombing the whole time.
Absolutely. I mean, comedians, they're supposed to be funny.
And speaking of unfunny comedians, Kathy Griffin actually went and showed her support as well, in addition to these other comedians.
Of course she did.
And we've got a tweet here from her that says, basically, Fox and Friends said that evening says a whole lot more about Michelle Wolf than it does about me. That's Sarah Huckabee Sanders' quote. She's basically, you know, saying she wishes the best for Michelle Wolf and whatnot. Kathy Griffin says, yes, it does say a lot more. It says that Michelle Wolf is a great comedian with a bright future and that you're a liar and an enabler.
I don't think Kathy Griffin has a lot to talk about or any room to talk. I mean, if these are the people that are supporting you, then I think you kind of have to look at what it is that you're doing and say, okay, maybe I should step back, or maybe I should change my perspective on things. Of course, Sarah Sanders, she handled it with class.
Right. And then she, speaking of Kathy Griffin, she went on to basically say,
when she was on The View this past week, our favorite show,
cursed up a storm during her Trump rant, and she's like, "You're effing right, I cursed up a effing storm, why shouldn't I? Your piece of shit president is destroying the country. No need for filters or politeness."
And they keep saying that we get away with everything, and we'll go into the interview. We have a compilation piece of it. I think the very first part, she talks about her apology. So
let's take a listen to that.
Yeah. By the way, I take the apology back.
So the very first thing she says is, I take back my apology. So, I mean, we all knew from the beginning she didn't mean the apology anyways. It was just to save face. It was a PR thing. Like, all of her, media relations people told her she needs to apologize. She didn't want to apologize.
No, it wasn't genuine at all. And, for her to take it back, for her not to realize the error of her ways, just shows that she has no character. Shows that she's immersed herself too much in liberalism, and she is really a bad role model for people. Now, look, I understand that people, make mistakes, and if you sincerely apologize for them, great. We can move on from that. People's careers, they're long. But for her just to come back and say, no, and be so, just blatant and so, like, holier than thou about it, I just find it completely ridiculous.
Right.
Let's go on. We have other clips from her rant, so let's go on and take a listen to those.
Yeah.
Do you regret saying that you're sorry?
I do, because that apology was, I'm not kidding. I performed in Iraq and Afghanistan, 2 places Trump has never even been and can't find on a map. And I wanted to make a statement about what a misogynist he is. And also, I remember the 8 years of the photos of Obama lynching. It's important. The First Amendment is the First Amendment for a reason. It's the first one. Because I then got a call the next day from the Department of Justice, and I was under a 2-month federal investigation for conspiracy to assassinate the President of the United States.
As you can see, more blaming everyone but her. It's calling Trump. She said, I did it because Trump is a misogynist and we have to show his true ways. And then says that the Secret Service, that she was told that she was under investigation, and she was all shocked that she was under investigation. Like, you were holding the man's head up as if you were a terrorist. I mean, that's an indirect threat.
Yeah, attacking the president in any way they don't take that lightly. It doesn't matter if just kidding. No, when you go that far into something, I mean, yeah, there's going to be consequences. You can say what you want, but the lines are there for a reason. And if you do say these things, you have to be prepared for the consequences. Oh, so her life got a little tough. Oh well. You know what's a really important part is spreading the truth and what a crazy, crazy woman she is, and how, she absolutely holds no water. She has no argument.
And she tried to say, well, they did the Obama lynching, hanging him on Halloween and nothing happened. Yeah, it did. Secret Service showed up at that guy's door and had the same conversation with him. You don't indirectly threaten the president like that.
No, not at all. And that person wasn't famous, so it was, on sort of a not as high of a platform. It doesn't make it right. I'm not condoning that at all. That wasn't really bad taste. I thought, the whole, rodeo rider that had Obama's, mask of Obama, I thought that was pretty disrespectful too. In my eyes, you don't disrespect the president like that. To me, those jokes, you take that way too far. So speaking of more crazy lefties, we have a tweet. We searched Twitter, for some of the silliest ones that we found that we could find, and this one's from one of your favorite people.
Oh yeah, Alyssa Milano. So as you can see here, she's got a tweet that says, Mike Pence is scheduled to speak at the NRA convention in Dallas on May 4th. This is a slap in the face to Americans from Parkland to Chicago to Nashville hurting from gun violence. Sign this petition to demand Mike Pence pull out of the NRA convention. First of all, how is this a slap in the face to Americans? A slap in the face to Americans at all these marches that say we need to get rid of guns because somebody illegally obtained a gun and shot someone.
I mean, the NRA, first of all, is not a terrorist organization. Look at their mission statement. Their mission statement is to educate people about the Second Amendment. It's to tell people how to safely handle guns. It's about gun safety. And I mean, they're not a terrorist organization. This notion that they're bad or they're trying to destroy America is stupid, frankly.
Yeah, and their argument is, well, NRA is lining the representatives and Senate's pockets and whatnot. The only one that's lining the pockets is Planned Parenthood, and they kill 300,000 babies a year.
Right.
Versus AR-15 deaths, I think it was like, I want to say, less than 500 a year. And so, yeah, it's no contest. Speaking of Planned Parenthood, we've got our favorite.
Oh, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
She said, "Thank you, at Cecile Richards, for your extraordinary leadership over the last 12 years as president of Planned Parenthood and for getting up every single day to fight for a world where women's rights truly are human rights."
Yeah. Notice the word human
Human
rights.
rights.
Yeah. This is the person that kills all these babies. But that's somehow human rights.
Again, look at your circle of the people that are congratulating you. If Hillary Clinton's saying you're doing a good job, I would totally run now. Because if you dare to have a different opinion than her, you might end up missing.
Or shot yourself twice in the back of the head or the back.
Right, or got robbed.
Yeah. Then we can go on to another favorite.
Maxine Waters.
Maxine Waters. Talking about Kanye West, as you all know, and we spoke in our last podcast, Kanye West is speaking out against Democrats and
showing his support with Trump.
We've yet to see, what's going to come of this, but he seems to be speaking out against the Democrats and their enslavement on how you're supposed to think. Maxine Waters, in return, says he sometimes talks out of turn. And then she even goes on to say that basically he should think twice about politics and maybe not have so much to say. Like,
what, because somebody has a different opinion than you and they happen to be black just like you are, or they're not allowed to think for themselves? They have to buy into this mentality that they should always focus on the past? Give me a break. I mean, do you see how crazy the left is? It seriously is agree with us or else. Why can't we all just say what we want and have a civil debate about it? Because we as conservatives, I feel like, when we debate people, we don't do it in a way, hopefully, to anger them. We legitimately want to wake people up, and I feel like we're open to new ideas, right? And I feel like, we don't resort to insults if somebody disagrees with us. It's not our first instinct because we have the facts on our side and we can say, here, how about this? We had a civil conversation with a fellow. We were in DC for our honeymoon and we were outside the White House in our mega hats, and he was like so surprised, and he was like, hey, can I record you while I ask you these questions about Trump? You remember that? Yeah, and we had a fine debate. Nobody cursed, nobody did anything. We needed more of things like that where we can have an open platform, I feel like.
Yeah, and it sounds very like, plantation slave ownerish that she's like, maybe he should have not so much to say, or he basically, he sometimes talks out of turn. Like, what kind of, you're not in charge of what people can say.
Or what people think, or, it's blowing their minds because, like we said, the lefties are not used to having somebody go rogue. And, for us, at least for me, it's a wait-and-see mentality to see what happens in the future. I'm hopeful that he's awoken, and I'm hopeful that he can open the door and, hopefully let everybody see, like, not just to support Trump, but just to say, hey, you know what, it's okay to think for yourselves.
Yeah. And maybe he'll open some eyes, even if whatever his end game is, he'll hopefully open some eyes, and these long-term Democrat supporters will see the truth. The Democrats, black lives don't matter to them, black votes matter to them.
Right.
It's all about the votes.
The Democrats, they always have an angle, and they always try to, and it would be one thing if I thought that the Democrats, they were honest and they cared about America and they really wanted what's best for America, but I feel like they just really care about control.
And staying in power.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's all it is. They say, well, elect me and I'm going to do this and this and this for your community. As soon as they get elected, they just throw them to the side. You never hear from them again.
Right.
They just stay in Washington and do their thing.
and make more underhanded deals. I mean, look, even the Dreamers feel abandoned by them. They're even starting to wake up, you know, so this has happened time and time again. All you have to do is just look in the past and see.
Yeah, do you notice, first it was the Democrats, their whole base was, we're going to support the minorities and African Americans. And then when the African Americans start waking up and seeing that the Democrats are fake, then they go to the illegal immigrants and the Dreamers. And, we're going to fight for you, and you deserve to live here as a citizen. When that didn't work, when the illegal immigrants and Dreamers start seeing that the Democrats are lying, now they're like, well, maybe we should make 16-year-olds vote. It's just one thing after another.
Yeah.
This isn't working, so let's do this. And that's all it is. They just want votes.
It's all a massive game to them. And by the way, 16-year-olds should not, in my opinion, I don't know about you, I don't think that they should vote. I didn't know who I was at 16. I was like a liberal at 16.
At 16, you still have to ask permission to go to the bathroom in school.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to trust your vote.
No, I don't think so. You know why they want the 16-year-olds? Because they're easily manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks, that's our chat for tonight. We hope you've enjoyed it.
Be sure to like and subscribe our videos and tune in for more.
Yep, and you can check out all the latest happenings at flakekeepernet.com. There's also a PayPal donate button right at the top there if you want to click and donate a little something to us. We'd greatly appreciate that. That'd be awesome.
All right, and have a great evening.
Signing off. Bye, y'all.
Bye.